friends, I have been sick for the past week, so I didn't do a new makeup of the week video last week, and I've just been doing a little bit of research because I'm going to be filming with Hayley our January recap for Beauty News this weekend. So I thought I'm going to talk about new release stuff because since I did my last video, which was when the Colourpop Twilight Collection was just starting to be revealed, some interesting stuff has come out and I want to talk about it now. I don't want to wait for the weekend. Oh no, I'm talking about it now. Okay, I want to start by giving an update on this Twilight Collection because it has all been revealed, it has all been released, and it is all promptly sold out. A lot of people are very annoyed. I'm sure it'll come back and be restocked, but essentially the Twilight fans just swooped in and just purchased everything. So these are lip oils we saw. We saw the Super Shock shadows, which are like white, shifty sort of ones. We saw the body oil that's got the shimmer in it, but now we also saw the palette. A few people are sort of underwhelmed by the color story. This color story is not for me. I need something that's a little bit more vibrant, a little bit something not as cool, like that's quite grey and very frosty. But if you look at the image, like the whole movie is this sort of bluey grey tone sort of filter over it. So it does sum up the movie really well. There's also these liquid liners. I'll find swatches because they're quite pretty. So that's what they look like. They're sort of metallic as well, which is cool. That's the swatches there. So they do represent the movie. I think they've done well in terms of staying true to the source. This is the swatch of the palette. This looks quite washed out, like maybe the lights are too bright, but to me it looks a very cool tone, very sort of bland. So yeah, nothing here that is really making me want it. I don't actually like the products individually, but overall I get it. I think it's well done. Another thing that I would have liked is the packaging to be a little bit more tailored to the property because I just feel like this looks like basic Colourpop with black lids. And just really quickly as well, Colourpop has released a Valentine's Day collection. This is out now. It's very heart, very pink, very Valentine's Day-ish. Yeah, cool. That's the palette. I quite like this. I feel like it's good that it's got orange, like an orange column, red, pink, and then almost like a berry. I think it's nice. I don't want it. I think it's nice. And you know, I love me an ultra glossy lip. I think they are the most superior lip glosses from the Colourpop range. And these sort of look like shimmery, sort of almost pearlescent versions. Another Valentine's Day release. This is from Natasha Denona. It's the Berry Pop collection. I don't know if it's technically Valentine's. I think it might be. Essentially, it's a lipstick, a lip liner, and a cheek palette. And it's all very sort of berry red toned. Look, there's different release dates. In Australia, we get it in store March the 13th. That's a bit beyond Valentine's Day. But check the Natasha Denona Instagram page and click through if you care about release dates. I know this blush colour suits some people. I just don't like how they've demoed it. It looks like this person has like shiny burns. The blush by itself, you're like, okay, that's pretty. Then this sort of coloured highlighter, which I would buy that in a single because I like that as like sheerly as a blush all over. Okay, we're getting a bit much. And then they sweep over the highlighter and I'm like, no, it's too much. That to me is not something I really want from a face palette. I think it would suit, again, sort of deeper skin tones, certain skin tones, but I think the layering of the highlighters, it is a bit much. Also, I could understand maybe with the blush trend and like the cheeks being the main thing, but then tone down the lip. But the fact that this is like the collection, it's a bit much for me. It's a bit. I wear a lot of makeup. It's a bit much for me. Something that's not too much. Laneige new flavor scent lip sleeping mask, cotton candy. Yeah, these are launch dates. It looks cool. The swirl looks yum. And I quite like that together this would make like a sort of mauvey colour. I don't know. I want this. I think it's gorgeous. Look who's back. Kim Kardashian is back with makeup. So we're wondering where, like we knew where KKW Beauty had gone. But I was wondering how is it coming back? So it's coming back under the Skin line, I think. So it's Skin by Kim Makeup. It's launching on the 26th and she looks really bored about it. I'm just going to say she looks extremely bored. I understand why. It's a fairly boring collection. This is it overall. There is a nude matte eyeshadow palette, some nude lipsticks and nude lip liners. I originally thought this was a joke. I'm like, that's the same pencil repeated. It's the same. It's not. It's not, Kat. It's not. If you ever wanted very minute nuances between your brown lip pencils, Skin by Kim has your back. Lipsticks, again, like at least we can see the gradient here. I feel like it looks like there's only 4 colours there though. But again, you got the nuances and they're very minute. Like there's no real pinky nudes. There's like a slightly more cooler tone one, a slightly more warmer tone, slightly more neutral, but all very nude brown, which I don't hate. I'm not judging. I like it. I like nude browns. And this is probably the most boring eyeshadow palette I've ever seen. But this would be great if you just like that sculpted look. So if you like that natural but sculpted look, this is it. And there you go. So sort of makeup artist type thing. Bridal minus the shimmer. I wanted to talk about these from Smashbox. They are face palettes. They've got a highlighter, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. What do I call it? Halo Sculpt and Glow palettes. 2 blushes, Brontour, there you go, and Butteriest highlighter. That's what I want to talk about, the highlighter. So there's 4 shades of these. This one, which I love orange blush, so I'm not mad about this. And a nice deeper one. One thing I've noticed about this, which is interesting, is the highlighter are all Becca, what are they called? Becca, Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. Chocolate Geode was a shade. Prosecco Pop was a shade. Rose Quartz was a shade. And of course, C Pop, it's not Colourpop, Champagne Pop. So I feel like they have just worked, even though they've taken Champagne Pop as a permanent product, it's one of the 2 products from Becca that Smashbox have released as part of their range. They are taking their highlighters, or at least the highlighter colours, but calling it like the Butteriest, I think they're just taking the Becca highlighters and putting into palettes, which they've paired them nicely, granted, but if you want Becca highlighters, then they're here. Some interesting news. MCoBeauty is coming to the US. Here's the details. So these are the stores that it's going to be in. Kroger stores from mid-Feb. Now, if you're not familiar, I'm familiar because they're bombarded. They're shoved down our throats in Australia. MCoBeauty takes products and makes dupes for them and even copies the packaging to a point where it possibly could be illegal. Here's an example. Like if you just blurred this, what would you think it is? Charlotte Tilbury? No, it's MCoBeauty. Here's another one. They like to copy Charlotte Tilbury, that's for sure. And they're not the only brands they copy. They've got lip balms that look like NARS packaging. Essentially, they're saying like you're getting the luxe for less. It's not, because they're actually different products. They just look very similar and they're similar concept. Like obviously these are shimmery cream highlighters that are dupes of the Charlotte Tilbury ones, but they don't perform the same way. They don't apply the same way. They're just the same concept. So if you like it, go for it. I'm not a big fan, personally. And if you are going to get it, I would only recommend getting it when it's like 40 or 50% off, which is what we do in Australia, because they're still pretty expensive for dupes that aren't as good. Lastly, this is a thing that happened and sold out within a day or something. Burt's Bees has created a limited edition ranch pack. I do love their lip balms, not all of them. I love the original one. I love the watermelon one. There's a few that I really love, a few that I really don't like. But in this pack, you get a crunchy celery, which I'd totally try. Buffalo sauce, probably not. Hidden Valley Ranch. Look, I'm in Australia. We don't understand the ranch thing. I don't get it. I don't think I want it in a lip balm. Fresh carrot, maybe. This one I would try, definitely. But that apparently sold out very quickly. So yeah, that's the Ranch Dippers 4-pack and it's sold out in a day. I'm sure they're bringing it back. I'm sure they're going to make their money on that collaboration. If this sounds up your alley, go you good thing. I don't get it.